Hello, everybody, and welcome into Big Boy Arena in Fraser, Michigan for a Thanksgiving Eve matchup between your Motor City Rockers and the visiting Watertown Wolves. I'm Brady Beaton, joined by Ben Zlagi. And Ben, couple of tough losses this past weekend for Motor City. Schedule looks a little favorable coming up. Starts with this game against Watertown in your own barn. What do you want to see tonight from your Rockers?
I want to see a short-term memory. I mean, Saturday's loss particular was a gut punch. I mean, you're up 3-2 on arguably the best team in the league. You get an own goal, and then you end up losing in overtime, on a goal that, Babin probably stops 9 times out of 10 if we're being honest. So, I'm looking for a short-term memory tonight, right? I'm looking for a team that's going to come out, take advantage, get a goal, get an early lead, and then really just take it from there. The Rockers showed last Friday and Saturday that they could be a premier team in this league. Show it. And people are going to say, well, are they not? We did split against this Watertown team early in the season in October. No one thought that was going to happen. But now that they're on home ice, I would say show that it can happen and happen on a regular basis.
We'll talk about the Watertown game in a minute, but Ben, one more question I want to ask you about these Rockers. They play almost exclusively close games. Last 3 games have gone to the extra frame. You mentioned the 2 losses to Danbury in overtime. The timeout before that, a shootout win in Binghamton. Now, depending on if you're a glass half full or glass half empty type of person, you can look at that in a positive or negative light. But what does Motor City need to do to get ahead of a team and put them away and make it just a fun night for these fans?
Well, I'm going to be the guy that's positive, even though they have been 1-goal games. The one in Binghamton, it was a good learning experience because the night before you gave up 4 goals in the third. The following night, you gave up 4 goals, but you got 1 back, right? So that's why you were able to take them into overtime there. Again, Saturday you had a 3-2 lead, right? So I think this team, though, if you want to jump on them, you just got to be able to put away those shots. We saw it on Friday and Saturday, just a couple of days ago. Opportunities to beat Brian Wilson. Just find a way to do it. Crash the net, get guys in front of the net. If you do that, you're going to actually get 2-goal leads. You're not going to be holding on so tight, and you can build those leads and get this place really rocking, because that's the best part. When it was 3-2 on Saturday night against Danbury, this place was loud, and it's a humble barn. Don't get me wrong. It's a very humble barn.
Nowhere for the noise to go.
Exactly, but that's just it. No, it just bounces straight up, comes straight down, and it's massive. So do that, you get 2-goal lead.
Real quick before we go to player introductions, played these Watertown Wolves in their opener, a 1-0 loss and a 7-6 win. Those are 2 completely different end of the spectrum type games. What kind of game are we going to see tonight?
I think we're going to see a closer to a 1-0 win, only because in that game Motor City had a couple of opportunities to put the game away with 4 goals and they couldn't do it. And that's why they ended up losing in overtime. In overtime we had a good look that was just pushed wide on a wide open net. So I think it's going to be a little bit closer since Motor City did play a tough opponent a couple of nights ago. I think it's going to be a close game. I'm expecting maybe a 3-2, 2-1 game.
All right, we'll take a break as we step aside for player intros, the national anthem when we come back, starting lineups and puck drops. You are watching Motor City Hockey here on the Motor City Rockers YouTube page.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the series contest featuring the Watertown Wolves versus your Motor City Rockers. Starting to see the Wolves on defense number 2, Chase Carter. On defense number 18, Brandon Bender. At forward number 20, Jackson Bond. At
for the puck drop between the Watertown Wolves and the Motor City Rockers. But before that, we'll go over to Ben for our starting lineups. Starting lineups are brought to you by Rock City Logistics. For a quote on all your global shipping needs, including LTL, rail, flatbed, and more, please visit rockcitylogistics.com. Ben, starting lineups tonight.
Yeah, for Watertown in net, number 33, Travis Smith. The two men in front will be Chase Carter and Brandon Baker. On the front line will be Rocco DiCostanzo, Matthias Tellstrom, and Jackson Bond. For the Rockers in net, getting his second start of the season, Blake Scott. In front of him is going to be Von Clouston, and a new face to the Rockers that was just signed this week, Danny Vanderweel. And then on the front line, it's going to be Scott Koash, Ross Bartlett, and Declan Conway, the guys that make it all happen on that front line.
All right, doesn't have to be in the starting lineups, but Ben, who in the black and purple tonight is going to have a good night if the Rockers are coming away with 3 points?
For me, it's going to be Koash. Koash has been a goal getter. He's been a point getter. Everyone likes to joke that he's an SPHL veteran. He plays like it, though. He plays like it in practice. He plays like it on the ice. He's the guy who's going to catch my eye. He's going to catch your eye because I guarantee he gets a goal tonight. All
right, Koash, the leading goal scorer for the Motor City Rockers. He will start in the face-off dot. As Ben mentioned, Blake Scott, just his second start of the year, first time here at Big Boy Arena, his only other start of victory against the Port Huron Prowlers, just about 40 miles to the north. Koash for Motor City. Costanzo for Watertown. The puck's dropped. And we have some Thanksgiving Eve hockey underway. Motor City controls off the draw to the far side. Vanderveel, long pass, can't find the mark. Looking the other way for Watertown. Lost Bartlett over the blue line. Left wing circle, fires a shot. It was blocked by Baker into the netting. And a quick whistle here in the first period.
It's one thing I do like about Bartlett. Ross has a good shot confidence. He's a guy who's not afraid to put his stick out there and pepper the goaltender. I like that he was able to walk into that zone, fire an early shot to see what he can and cannot do against Smith.
You saw a little bit of a philosophy change last time out where later in the Danbury series they were attacking the net a little more instead of trying to maybe get the perfect shot.
Yeah, we did. Now we're going to see what they can do on defense here.
Racing into the zone, Bond, backhand attempt, goes wide, rings around the boards near the blue line. Baker shovels it in deep. DiCostanzo for Watertown, trying to play it on the boards, gets pinned, goes to the ice, ends up within the stick of Motor City Clauston. Rink wide pass over the blue line. Conway, his shot blocked. Baker picks it up in his own zone. Two-line pass and tipped in deep. Watertown will get a change. Ryder breaks out behind his own net. Couple of passes, and Conway gets the stick on it. No, he did not, Ben. My eyes deceived me. Icing called on Motor City. Offensive zone draw for Watertown.
Yeah, I thought Conway did get his stick on it. Declan may have just lifted it just a little too early, sliding past that puck. It's unfortunate, but yeah, I mean, our eyes saw the exact same thing. I thought Conway got it.
Watertown in a slick-looking road white and powder blue uniforms. Motor City in their home black and purple. Couple of good-looking jerseys tonight.
Oh, here we go.
Conway at the blue line. Pass across. Shot lifted. Picks the corner. 1-0 Rockers just a minute 13 in.
Beautiful little stretch pass. Got that one going. Declan Conway can just walks it on in. Finds Caden Lambden, who goes top shelf where the good stuff is. This place is going to see some good hockey tonight.
And that starts right from the face-off circle. Conway slips out just a bit. The tape-to-tape pass and the 2-on-1. Perfect feed. Almost knocks the water bottle off. And Ben, those were the passes that weren't necessarily there this past weekend against Danbury. They connect early and take an early lead.
Yeah, some of those passes weren't hitting tape-to-tape, but again, Conway was able to receive it, getting his 4th assist on the season. Lambden getting his 3rd goal on the year.
Bodie dumps it deep into the zone. Suffredini to play it behind Scott. Lord keeps it in for a Watertown. Puck loose. Lord can't keep it in the blue line. Lord will have to check back up in the neutral zone. Diagonal dump in. Suffredini picks it up for the Rockers. Far hash marks working their way out of the zone. Flipping deep. Gaudette will chase after it. Good to see him on the ice. A little question if we'd see him tonight. He's a nice player for Motor City.
Yeah, Gaudette's on a 5-game point streak. He's been hot. Didn't see him this past weekend just because we didn't know if he was going to be healthy, but good to see he got the doctor's note and the permission slip to let him go back on the ice.
7:50 to go in the first period. Your Motor City Rockers on the Cade Lambden goal lead 1-0. Turnover in the neutral zone. Bartlett trying to chase after it. Instead coming out to play it Travis Smith. Puck slides to the Rocker blue line. Dumped in deep by Rotundi. Watertown looking for the breakout. Koash picks it up in neutral ice. Gets it to Bartlett. Backhanded to the wrong colored jersey. Bond with the turnover. Motor City doing a good job keeping it in neutral ice, attacking. Koash shoots and it's blocked right on the stick by Baker. Motor City attacking downhill. Watertown not able to get any pressure up the ice.
Yeah, no, they're doing a good job on the forward check, and it's kind of what we saw out in Watertown. They felt, and I know talking with Coach Brown this week, he felt like they could jump on this team. Didn't think that we would be able to see it because it's out of their system of hockey. They're normally defensive first, but like what I'm seeing early on the forecheck.
Carter feeds up for Bond. Bond works around one defender over the blue line. Straight away shot. Waffle boarded away into the corner. Giuliano shovels it up and out of the zone for Motor City, and Watertown will have to reset. Colton takes the puck back in his own zone, bounce it behind Scott. Vanderveel picks it up. Trying to get it up and out, cannot. Lehner chases after it in the corner. Battle for it along the near side boards. Pass across, Giuliano, the veteran, dumps it in deep. Lambden chases after it. Battle for it in the far corner. A couple different jerseys poking at it. Ends up on Vanderveel, stick at the blue line. Shot, and it's patted away into the corner.
Glenville almost got goal number 2. Got a stick on it, almost got the deflection.
Net off the moorings, and Ben, that's why they say, hey, throw the puck on net. Good things happen, creating traffic out in front. And the newest addition, Vanderveel, almost was able to get an assist thanks to Lambden.
Yeah, and one thing I do like to see, a guy that was signed initially to a PTO on Monday, then actually got signed to a player contract on Tuesday. And yeah, right there, getting into the system, throwing it in on the net. And this is a guy that did not play from 2015 to 2020.
When he did play, played not too far here, the Plymouth Whalers. Has some big-time experience, played last year in Binghamton. Shot on net from Clauston gets deflected before it can reach the crease. Both sides jockeying for position on the near boards. Clauston over to Vanderveel. Walks it up and it's deflected. Ooh, thought that one hit the netting. The play will go on.
Yeah, got a little fortunate there. There's a bad turnover.
Yellowknee into the zone, pass across, the return pass not there. Scott, I believe, poked that away. Still loose, and the Cavalry comes in to give Scott a little bit of a reprieve. Cardinal working on the other end, left side, Vanderveel. From the slot, fires, and it's blocked away with the shoulder of Travis Smith. First game in the lineup, but it doesn't look like Danny Vanderveel has too much of a acclimating period for him. He seems to fit right in.
Well, when you sign a PTO and the next day you get a contract, the coach has got to like something. And he's a guy that can play forward, he can play defense, like a guy that he's replacing in Brandon Contrado. But, it is nice to see, though, he's acclimating well, getting the systems well, and playing well.
14:56 in the first period, 1-0 your Motor City Rockers lead. First media timeout. Perfect time to remind you that the Rockers are hosting a fundraiser for Ukrainian refugees on December 2nd against the Delaware Thunder. A portion of the proceeds will go to refugees and their families at the Immaculate Conception Ukrainian Catholic School for funding of tuition, field trips, and social activities. That's what's going on in a few weeks. Ben, what's going on right now in the Fed?
Well, what's going on first? Let's give you a shot on goal update here. It's not a lot. It's 3-2, but of course the Rockers getting one of those threes. Around the league, though, we were watching it before the game. The Danbury hat-tricks all the way out in Binghamton. They have a 5-2 lead going right now. Just getting underway in Elmira. Delaware and Elmira are squaring off. And then tomorrow in Mississippi has Carolina, which is kind of funny. We were talking about that before the game. You're playing a game the same day as the Egg Bowl. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that's going to be a big conflict. That's why I'm sure the Rockers are glad they're not at home on a Saturday afternoon. Don't have to compete with any big-time college football. Good crowd still trickling in.
Oh, yeah.
They were very excited for the first Lambden goal.
I was going to say, great crowd coming out tonight. We like to see stuff like this.
Coash, right wing circle, backhands to Conway. Conway fighting for position. DiCostanzo knocked him off the puck momentarily. Conway, I think, wanted to get it up and over to Bartlett. He could not. Watertown takes it out of the dangerous zone. Tellstrom fires on net, patted away. Right side, Conway. Looking to get the puck out, cannot. DiCostanzo takes it the red line, now over the blue. Drops back off, pass across, broken up. Good defense. Dante Suffredini on the defense, leading to a 2-on-1 for a moment the other way. Coash fires into the belly of Travis Smith. He'll hold on to it. 14-16 to go in the first, still 1-0 Motor City.
I was going to say, Dante Suffredini's been having an exceptional series of weekends. We mentioned it on Friday and Saturday in Binghamton. He had 2 goals and an assist. Understanding the system, so he almost had a penalty shot the other night as well. Just really like the way the defense is starting to round out for this team.
Tie up on the draw, goes to Brennan Young. Slides the puck up and out of the zone. Colton picks it up for a moment at the blue line. Chip Giuliano chases after it in front of the Watertown bench into the offensive zone. Top of the left wing circle, fires, rebound. Oh, Landman had a chance for number 2, just couldn't quite keep it on the tape.
Almost there, just lost it. He had a wide open net, just couldn't bury it.
And that's the difference between scoring and not scoring, Ben. The last 3 games have been a prime example. Another chance to really take a big lead early. Something we talked about in the pregame, Motor City hasn't been able to do a ton this season.
Yeah, no, and it would have been nice to have a 2-goal lead. And, you know, the only time Motor City's really gotten on somebody was when Port Huron came here a couple of weekends ago.
Gaudette over the blue line, left wing circle. Feed to Makima's broken up before it can reach it. That was McGuire. Motor City keeping the ice tilted towards the Watertown end. Behind the net, Ryder. Backhands in deep, Makima back in deep. Gaudette behind the net. Cardinal goes in to try to play it. Stolen away by Leonard, and I believe we will have a penalty. It'll be a hook. And we'll have our first power play of the game.
Yeah, it was very clearly a hook behind the end line near the near side corner. Can't get away with that, especially right in front of an official.
They will take Ryan Saris to the net, or to the penalty box, as the Rockers try to put one in the back of the net on the power play. And all power plays this year are brought to you by Digital Macomb Indoor Billboards. Reach over 100,000 people in 1 month all around Macomb County by visiting digitalmacomb.com. So on the man advantage, Ben, Rockers have been pretty good this year with upper man.
Yeah, they're hovering right about 24% on the power play. They are able to get goals, and they are able to work their systems. Every Thursday, they work on the power play to perfect it, and they've been doing that the past couple of weeks. So let's see if they can get one here.
Ryder behind the net, pass in front. Conway, he whiffed on a shot from point blank. Oh, that's the spot you want Declan Conway at, and that's where you want him to get the frozen biscuit. He just couldn't connect. Yeah,
no, and the funny thing is Conway's a bigger body too, so you want him in front of that net. He also is a guy who, with his big body, has a powerful shot, just couldn't connect right there.
White over to Suffredini, takes it over the red, now the blue. Inside the Watertown zone, slides back to neutral ice, and Coash will have to chase it back down in his own end. 1:03 to go in the Rockers man advantage, 12:06 to go in the first period. Motor City up 1-0 on the Cade Lambden goal. Colton working the breakout. Fakes the give to Bartlett, now sends it far side. Bartlett over the red line, dekes a defender, now blue, walks it in, shoots it off a skate and a slight tap of the puck. It'll roll all the way down. Scott will play it out of the net, 40 seconds left to go on the penalty kill for Watertown.
Yeah, good block there by Colton McGuire, negating that one.
Have not been able to get a lot of consistent time in the zone, working it in Makima, and he can't get it, and they fire it up off the rafters. That will necessitate a whistle. The faceoff will go back to the offensive end for Motor City. Still 30 seconds to try to salvage something on this power play.
Yeah, haven't really seen a lot of shots on goal. One, of course, was just blocked a few moments ago by McGuire, and of course, Conway could have buried one. Would like to see a quick draw and a quick fire here.
There's the quick draw. Bartlett to the near side, Colton. Colton walks the puck up, now into the corner, Makima. Bounces it behind the net, Gaudette. Gaudette searching for a partner to send it to. Far hash marks. Up top, Colton inside the blue line on net. Tip! It's loose, and no one was home to bang in the rebound. Still a dozen seconds left to go, and the man advantage barely keeps the puck in. Bartlett walks by one defender, can't get by Yellowknee. Down to 3 seconds on the power play. Colton throws on net. It's covered up by Smith, and we have a tussle out in front. Won't amount to much. 11:06 left to go in the first period. 1 second on the man advantage, so if Motor City can get a clean win off the draw, they might have a split second as they wait for Sars to come out of the box.
Yeah, there was more little tussling right there. Fody just came out, bumped into Lambden. Last time these two teams played on October 22nd, there was a big brawl. It might happen again tonight because these teams do not like each other.
I'm sure there's a few fans from our friends in Watertown watching, waiting for the gloves to drop for the first time. Puck out in front, blocked. Oh, Conway had another chance. I think it slid by Smith. Didn't know where it was. Lucky for him, it went wide left.
Yeah, Conway's so close. Oh, there's the post for
Koash. Almost picked the corner. He's a goal scorer, and hey, that ping, that could either be a goalie's best friend or worst nightmare. Koash with an opportunity. Feed right side. Colton, he picks the corner. 2-0 Rockers. Excuse me, Declan Conway. 2 fours, not 1. 2 goals for the Rockers.
Yeah, I like that little touch drop pass there. He knew where Conway was going to be. Conway just comes in, crashes in, goes top shelf glove side, and it's a 2-0 game.
Get a chance to look at the replay. The back end for Watertown just got sucked up too far, Ben. And in this league, hey, it might not be the cleanest hockey all the time, and the smart players, the one that rack up the goals, know when to just sneak back a little bit. Declan Conway now a second straight game with a goal.
Yeah, Declan Conway is that point getter as well. Once he and Koash joined this team, they've been on fire together, and they've developed a good chemistry as well. That's why they're getting parried a lot on the line.
10:25 to go in the first. 2-0 Motor City on top of Watertown. Ben, the first 10 minutes of this game, Rockers done everything we could have asked of them and more.
Oh yeah, they're actually burying their chances. They're playing a good forecheck. They're bailing at the right times. Caused an offside right there. Doing everything right. Again, you can tell they want to get this win. They felt bad that they couldn't get the win on Saturday. Like I said, you got to have a short memory. You got to score. You got to get a win. Get back into the win column, because guess what? Thursday night at about midnight, you're leaving Fraser to go to Delaware. So
not a short drive, Ben.
No.
Not a short drive out to the East Coast.
No, that's a good solid 12, 13-hour drive, if not 14.
Neutral zone win. Tellstrom pokes it in deep. Can't control it. Sufferdini in his own zone. Long feed as Bartlett tries to chase after it. Baker for Watertown has it instead. Banked off the near boards. DiCostanzo over the blue line to the near hash marks. Into the corner. Stops. Spins off a hit from Koash. Poked away. Sufferdini in there. Able to take it to neutral ice. Feed up to Bartlett. Bartlett in the offensive zone. Pass across. He was looking for Conway, trying to get his second goal of the period. Controls the puck. Koash was all alone in front of the net for a moment. Ben, I know you saw it as well. Tip out in front. Luckily for Smith, it was Chase Carter there to clean up the mess.
Yeah, Chase Carter also lifted his stick there on Conway too earlier in that possession.
Pick in the pocket, Koash over the blue line. Has 3 white jerseys in front of him. Gets around 2 of them and shoots it off the face mask of Smith. Almost a one-man show for Scott Koash. Can't quite bury it, but another good opportunity for Motor City.
Yeah, again, Scott Koash, he's been good. He and Conway, you were talking about it on Saturday. Who's going to be the guy that can be a guy that they can rely on? I know this team is constructed on purpose that there's maybe 3 or 4 guys that you can rely on, but you definitely know you can rely on 2. 44, you double that, you get 88. Those 2 guys are the guys you can rely on and lean on, while you have other guys like Lambden come in and chipping in those extra goals.
Absolutely, and it felt like the ice has been tilted towards the Watertown end all night. Ben, want to update us in the shots on goal category and if there's been any changes in the scores around the Fed?
Well, yeah, we've definitely had tripled the shots on goals for Motor City. They're now at 9. They lead 9-3. So far in the league, nothing else has. Well, actually, yeah, Elmira now has a goal. They lead Delaware 1-0. So that's the only thing that's new going on.
here at Big Boy Arena. 2-0 Motor City. Got started just a minute 13 in. Ben, not everyone was even in their seat and warm when Cade Lambden picked the near corner with assists from Declan Conway and Dante Suffredini. And then at the 9:19 mark, Declan Conway gets in the goal column with an assist from Scott Koash. Both of those at even strength. Motor City up 2-0, 9:14 to go in the first period.
Yeah, Koash is making me look like a smart man. I said he'd get a goal, but he has an assist. He almost has a goal. Let's see if he can make me right as rain.
Well, with you with Koash, me with Conway. Doesn't take a rocket scientist to watch them play and go, yeah, he's probably going to get on the score sheet.
Yeah, no, definitely. It doesn't take a rocket scientist. No, you don't need to put a pencil behind your ear to figure that one out.
Or have a laminated play sheet. Behind the net, Watertown trying to flip the ice, get a little bit of offensive pressure.
I'm glad you picked up what I was laying down.
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad.
It's an easy one. That's low-hanging fruit, but it's fun to pick. Rotundi at his own blue line. Pass gets tipped in by Giuliano. The veteran chase after. Lord behind his own net. Pass out in front. Couldn't find the stick of Lambden. Lambden, cross-ice pass tipped. Eventually finds its target. Ryder leaves it back by the blue line. 3 Rockers in about a 6-foot space. They'll have to retreat to neutral ice as Ryan Rotundi takes it in his own zone. Rink wide pass to Colton. And the forecheck still strong for Watertown. They're not backing down.
No, but Motor City caught him in a line change. They're able to tilt that ice right back.
Ryder spins just past the blue line, throws on net, and it's kicked wide by Lambden. Motor City controlling the puck behind the net. Searching, finds Clausen. Clausen throws on net, swallowed up by Smith. We'll have another whistle. 7:54 to go in the first period. 2-0 Motor City on top of Watertown.
Yeah, it's funny, looking at Von Clausen, I immediately looked across the ice. I was looking for Contrado and not there. And it was a little bit surprising that the team was, going to make the move, but he had been getting deeper in the depth chart. It's just weird not to see 90 with 20.
Fody, left side to Yellowney. Yellowney's pass knocked away, and it's pushed up and out of the zone by Gaudette. Fody takes it at neutral ice, pinned against the boards by Cardinal. Jousting for the puck, eventually back in the offensive zone. Pass for Gaudette, he didn't know it was coming.
Yeah,
Yellowney leading the odd man rush on the near boards. Clauston pushing him into the boards in the corner. Gaudette will pick up the loose change and work a breakout. Down the right side, Clauston. The defenseman leaves it back, and a shot that I don't think Makima got all of goes high and wide.
Yeah, no, Makima's been a guy that's been pressing a little bit late. He's a guy who can get goals. He just needs to find the right, opportunity to do that.
Vanderveel in close, and as he's attacking, the net comes off the moorings. And I think some words, probably a few fans to the north of us rolled their eyes when they saw that quick whistle.
Yeah, well, Gaudette's slow to get up. He was the one who took a sucker punch in that whistle. And he's slowly coming back to the bench, hunched over.
See if we can see it in the replay.
It's going to happen in that scrum. Right here, he bounces off, and then you'll see he takes a little sucker punch.
He does. He took a quick one, and, Watertown's going to pay for it. Did not go unnoticed. I believe that is Colton McGuire in the penalty box, and that'll be the second power play of the night. And again, all power plays this season are brought to you by by Digital Macomb Indoor Billboards. You can reach over 100,000 people in 1 month around Macomb County by visiting digitalmacomb.com. Again, this power play and every power play this year will be brought to you by Digital Macomb Indoor Billboards. Ben, they have 2 goals. One didn't come on the power play. Like to see them cycle through the zone a little more on this one.
Yeah, again, I'm looking for a quick draw win and then a fire and then a rebound. That would be nice.
Ryder in the far corner. Tug of war with the puck. Ryder comes away with it. Jason's pressure. Keeps it in deep. Koash to White. White at the blue line. Near side Suffredini. Top to left wing circle. Back to the point. White. White slap shot and he buries it. 2 straight for Ian White. And it's 3-0 Prowler. Or excuse me, 3-0 Rockers.
Well, I will say this. Conway was the one who tipped it. Beautiful blast from White at the point. Declan Conway gets the deflection. He gets the goal. That's his second of the night.
Second game in a row that Ian White helps a goal. We thought the last game out he might have tipped it, or it may have been tipped. It wasn't. This time Conway gets just enough, and we'll wait for the official score, but I think you're right, Ben. It was tipped out in front. Chance for an odd man rush. Koash makes the move, pass across, and it's buried off the rebound. Koash to Conway, and it was finally finished off on the third real chance by Ross Bartlett. Waiting to see who comes out. There's a big pile out there. 4-0 Rockers. Ben, it's unicorn and rainbows here in Big Boy Arena.
Well, good things happen when you crash the net, and I think that was the message because they've been crashing this net hard. They should have done it against Brian Wilson this weekend. They started to do it, and guess what? We're going to have a goal change. Hussey's coming in.
Never great when you get a goalie change. Just 13:30 into the game. Hussey checks in. And Ben, what I like here is there are times where you have a chance to bury a team early. And sometimes you let them hang around too long. Motor City burying them early and running the goalie in not even 15 minutes of play.
Well, yeah, 2 goals, 8 seconds apart. That's pretty nice.
White, slapper, never gets off the ice, misses wide left. Seferdini, left wing circle, back up to Makima. Throws it on net. Hussey pokes it away. Ooh, dangerous play, keeping the puck alive. Lord flips it in deep. Chasing after it. Man. Not near hash marks.
That's the first time Scott Blake has seen action in about 5 minutes.
Yeah, sometimes it gets the goalie out of rhythm a little bit. Far side, working around Bond. Bond guarding the puck. A couple different black jerseys chase after him. Pass across, shot, and it's wide and into the netting. A good look for Watertown. I believe that was Chase Carter bringing it up, and we'll have an offensive zone draw for Watertown.
Yeah, and finally Watertown finding its offense, Water finding its level, and just, when you see that opportunity, your eyes get really big. Chase Carter's eyes got a little too big, a little too much adrenaline, and just pushed it high and wide.
Right now, Motor City with more goals than shots against. 12-3 the shots, 4-0 the score. Motor City on top, 5.5 minutes to go in the first period.
Yeah, it's really impressive, too, when you think about it this way. This is the defending Commissioner Cup champs.
Tellstrom gets pickpocketed in the offensive zone, trying to recover on the far boards. Making it up, Giuliano whiffed on a pass, just has to backhand it deep into the zone. Carter, long feed, left side, Bond. Bond, working right side, leaves it back, and Tellstrom whiffs, still loose, and Scott was able to just get enough of his pad on it to keep it away, and the defense came and helped him out a bit.
Yeah, Jonathan Giuliano showing that veteran presence, lifted the stick of Tellstrom right at the right time to knock off that timing.
Carter fires a blast on net, still loose. Now in the corner, Leonard gets it out, and again, I believe a poke check, whether it's from Scott or one of his defensemen, keeps the puck out of harm's way, and the puck finally goes back to neutral ice, and the first big rush for Watertown pauses for a moment.
Yeah, it was a good poke check away there by Cade Lambden to protect Scott. And again, Motor City doing a good job on defense, and they just can't give up any goals at this point. They don't want it.
Loose in front, scramble for it, and eventually Scott finds it. Never like when the puck's sitting in the crease and there's no whistle, no whistle, no whistle, and eventually Scott able to locate it, falls on it, and I think this media timeout came at just about the right time for Motor City.
Yeah, it definitely does, because as of right now, I mean, we said it. Blake Scott has not seen a lot of action. He's seen more than enough action in the last 2 minutes. It allows him to recalibrate. It allows him to get that game confidence back. And the good thing I like over there as well, Vaughn Clouston said, don't worry, we have your back. I'm going to help you in the blue to cover up that puck if you don't know where it is. So the defenders are helping him out, picking him up as well. It's been a whole team effort back there. It's been absolutely incredible so far to see.
All right, after that flurry, Ben, what are the shots looking like? And has anyone else been putting up goals like Motor City has around the Fed?
Well, shots on goal now starting to even up after that rush. 13-8 in favor of Motor City. So far, Binghamton and Danbury still at 5-2, and Elmira still has a 1-0 lead over Delaware.
That was a game Binghamton was leading early, but we saw how disciplined Danbury is and how hard it is to string multiple goals together, something that Motor City couldn't do last weekend, obviously doing here. And I think a big part of it is offensive zone possession. They're not just getting one shot and then going the other way. They're getting 2, 3, 4 chances at it.
Yeah, they're able to follow up their shots. Again, it's in this level and every level, you have to get dirty goals. You have to screen goaltenders. You have to get in their way, which then gets into their head and gets them off their mechanics, because then the goals will come. They'll come from the outside eventually, but you got to get them on the inside first.
We said it last week about Danbury, say it tonight again about Motor City. They've been playing well, but sometimes you need the puck luck on your side.
You do. Definitely do. Puck luck's a real thing. It's a beast. You love it when it's on your side, and you hate it when it's not on yours.
Watertown had it in the zone, lost it. Bartlett racing, him and Conway, and an offsides. Conway just a bit too excited for that 2-on-2 rush.
Yeah, and going back to puck luck, a lot of people, sometimes you create your own luck, right? That's why you want those dirty goals. Ross Bartlett making it, 4-0. That is perfect puck luck. You had Conway right there in front. The puck just squirts out over a pad, and you're able to bang it in. You create your own luck. You're able to create that momentum, because right now Watertown looks like they're playing in quicksand.
Trying to at least get one goal. You feel like if you're Watertown, you get one goal before you can at least calm the waters a bit. Cardinal behind the net. Hussey now between the pipes for Watertown. On the near boards, puck goes out to Yellowknee. Yellowknee, big slap shot right into the belly of Blake Scott. He will easily swallow that up. 3:30 to go, first period, 4-0. Motor City on top of Watertown.
And again, Travis Smith has been phenomenal. All year he's been good. He's a kid. You look over his resume. He's only played in 9 FPHL games. His save percentage is at a very respectable 88%. He played 3 years in the OJHL. Last year in the Greater Metro Hockey League, he was the MVP of the league and top goaltender, so he's no slouch.
Carter pass across, and again, Blake Scott covers it up inside the stomach area. Take another draw just 7 seconds later. Now, Ben, I know this league, sometimes offenses can be a little more potent in the ebbs and flows. A 4-goal lead, especially this early, is not unstoppable. As an odd man rush comes, Gaudette to the far side, picked away, look for Cardinal. Gaudette backhand and stopped by Hussey. But back to my point, 4 goals in the Fed isn't an impossible hill to climb. We've seen it both for and against Motor City. When that snowball gets going, sometimes it's hard to stop.
Yeah, we saw it specifically in Binghamton. We saw it twice, 2 4-goal periods for Binghamton. So you can score in bunches, but one thing I like with this 4-goal lead is the system in which this 4-goal lead stands. Coach Brown loves to preach defense. He likes to protect leads, forces you into a mistake. And if you have a big lead like this, it's going to be hard to get back into it. You're definitely going to have to work for it.
Pass out in front. Ryder, I don't think he was expecting the puck to get to him. Went through a couple Watertown sticks. They're working the other way. Bond to the middle. Leaves back, and Tellstrom just floats a soft one over the top of the crossbar. Lambden will go in the corner, pick it up. Leaves it back for Suffredini, far side White. Former Red Wing. It helps get it up and out as the puck eventually bounces over Lambden's stick. 2:34 to go, first period. 4-0, Motor City on top.
Yeah, Lambden throwing his weight around. We've seen that before.
Turnover in the offensive zone, and, they tried to slip by Ian White, but Hrabcake you can't get away with that with a former NHLer.
No, and he did just enough to offer his shoulder and his side to make sure it wasn't interference, because Hrabcake wanted interference, but Ian White has that NHL pedigree. He knows what to do to knock you off your game and get away with it.
Lord's shot bounced wide, and the rebound pass out in front, and Fabian Leonard picks the top right corner. Watertown gets on the board, 1:58 to go in the first period, 4-1.
Yeah, it just unfortunately looked like Blake Scott lost sight of the puck. Leonard saw an opportunity to go high because he was already in the butterfly and got the goal.
There was the opening about the size of, a soup can, and Leonard picks a very small area. Scott took away 95% of the net. Leonard found that 5%. 1:58 to go off the draw. No one picking it up. Eventually Watertown has it. Yellowknee, rink wide pass. Maidman, near side hash marks, puts on the brake, spins away. A couple black jerseys bracketing him, nowhere to go. Over the blue line, Conway, near hash mark, stops in the corner. Ringing around the boards, far side, Colton in deep. He has 3 different white jerseys triangulating him. He just has to send it to the near corner. A big scrum for the puck. 2 white, 2 black jerseys coming after it, and it slips out to Carter. Carter lost it in a tip out in front. Bartlett looking for another one, couldn't get it. 80 seconds left to go in the first period. Now only 4-1 Motor City on top.
Yeah, would like to maybe get one back, but again, do not make mistakes, and that's kind of where that goal came from. The rebound came out. Already caught Scott in the butterfly. If you know your goaltender's not going to absorb, if he's only going to deflect, clear the puck out. Clear it out, find it, do what you can to bury it into a corner. So let's see, if that can materialize and you can clean up the mistakes.
Tie up on the draw. Watertown had it for a moment. Tellstrom on his own hash marks. Sends it back for a moment to Saris. Returns to Tellstrom. Up and out of the zone. Bond over the red line. Blue right side slap shot. Rebound out in front, and a nice job getting it to the near side boards out of harm's way. Still in the offensive zone. Another long shot from Saris. Deflected to the left wing circle. Back at the blue line. Lord. Diagonal pass doesn't find a home. Under a minute to go in the first period. Rockers maybe trying to steal another goal before the break. They lead 4-1. Saris, own zone, turns it over. Makima lost it for a moment. Left wing circle, fires, doesn't even get close to the crease. Couple bodies in front.
Yeah, it's a bad look for Makima. Again, he's pressing for that goal. He wants another one. He's a guy who can get goals. Just don't force the issue. They will come. 25
seconds to go in the period. 4-1 Motor City on top. Watertown with the last one, however. Puck was passed to no one in particular. DiCostanzo has to chase it down. 15 seconds left to go in the opening stanza. Long pass to Young, takes it in, spins off a hit. And Roman Gaudet comes to finish the poke check. Get it away. 6 seconds to work with. And I'm sure Motor City will be fine. Dumping it out of the zone and taking the 4-1 lead into the locker room. Was 4-0. Watertown, no pun intended, steadied the waters a little bit with that goal coming to under 2 minutes to go. Ben, you want to give us the intermission stats? As always, they're brought to you by Triumph Geared Solutions. Machinist jobs available right here in Metro Detroit. Visit careers.triumphgroup.com. Again, that's careers.triumphgroup.com to learn more. How'd that first period shape out?
Well, it shaped out, started out great, right? I mean, Motor City, everything was doing well, everything was clicking, everything was moving. You build up that lead. It was a lead that we were waiting to see if they could build up. It was good. And then the last 4 minutes kind of started falling apart a little bit. Watertown, as you mentioned, Water started to find its level a little bit. Again, they're Commissioner Cup champs for a reason. They can play in tough games. They can find their level when they need to. You get a little bit of that puck luck picking the corner. And, I mean, that's just it. Outside of the last 4 minutes, and we saw Motor City have trouble on Friday night in the second period in the last 4 minutes. Don't rest on your laurels. Get something back. Still, you have a 3-goal lead, but one thing I would like to see to start the second period is, you get one back, you're able to get one back and rebuild that lead back up to 4, because that's a daunting lead.
All right, real quick, Ben, recap the scoring in that first period.
Yeah, so really quickly, really jumped right out right in the first minute 13. It was a beautiful goal scored by Cabe Lambton. Assisting it was Declan Conway. Dante Suffredini offering the initial stretch pass on the 2-on-1. Then Declan Conway, 8 minutes later, got in on the goals. Got one from Scott Koash, and then Conway again in front on the power play to make it 3-0. Josh Colton made it 4-0. With 30 left in the period, and then with about 2 minutes left, Fabian Leonard was able to pick the corner to make it 4-1.
That's what happened in the first period. We're bringing now on special guest, assistant coach Corey Swider. Coach, thank you so much for making your way up here. I'll just start off with, have to be really happy with that first period, the way it went. I mean, anytime you can take a 3-goal lead in the first break, have to be happy with it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Thanks for having me up here too. Yeah, it was a good start by the boys. Saw a lot of what we were working on this week in practice come to fruition, and that's always good to see. So hopefully we keep the goal train rolling here.
Last weekend against Danbury, it felt like a tug of war. It was pulling teeth for both sides to get offensive opportunities. You guys come out flying. The advantage of having home ice. But the last 4 minutes, Watertown kind of flipped the script. What did you see different in that last 4 minutes that didn't happen in the first 15 or 16?
Maybe a little bit of lack of focus. We weren't really getting back in our zone to support the team, support the breakout as much as we were early on, and you could definitely see the difference here.
When you guys are clicking, what are something the fans at home can look at and go, oh, this is what coach wants them to do, this is how I want my defense looking, and they know what they should be looking for all the fans back at home?
We want to see forward supporting the D, getting back low, making themselves available for the breakout pass, bodies moving, and then once we get in the offensive zone, pucks to the net and bodies in front of the net.
Being around this league for a while, you know that there are players, and sometimes it can get a little loose. Guys trying to sneak out, get that breakaway, really sneak out for that breakout pass. How do you find that balance? Because you saw Declan Conway got a goal because he knew the right time to slip out. But how do you find that balance of getting back and supporting your D-men and then slipping behind and getting that breakaway pass?
It's going to depend on the reads. So if you're the weak side and it's coming up the other side, what you want to do is just get up and go. So when you know we're moving, it's a clear pass, you want to get going, make yourself open, look for an indirect pass off the boards, or cut to the middle and beat the D and get in.
All right, Coach, last question for you. Keep it nice and simple. Don't have to give any company secrets away, but what's the message to the boys in the locker room coming out for period number 2?
Well, we saw exactly what happened when we got away from the plan there at the end of the period, so it's pretty simple message there. They saw it, we made them aware of it, they made each other aware of it, so we just got to get back to what works for us.
Coach, thank you so much for spending some time up here. I'll let you get down, get back on the whiteboard, make some adjustments, and hopefully the second period's more like the first 15 minutes than the last 5.
For sure. My pleasure, and you guys have a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. You too, Coach. It's Coach Corey Swider. We are in the first intermission. 4-1, Motor City on top. We will take a break. When we come back, we'll take a look at what's around the league and have second period action. You're watching Motor City Rocker Hockey on the Motor City Rocker YouTube page. Back here at Big Boy Arena, just a few minutes until the second period underway. Your Rockers on a 4-1 lead. Ben, you heard us talking to Coach before we went on the break. After that first 20 minutes, have to be happy with a lot. The ending wasn't the best, but you still have a 3-goal lead because of that barrage early in the period.
Yeah, I mean, it's where you want to be. You want to be up after 1, and it's not just a 1-goal lead. It's a very nice 3-goal lead. It's away from that ominous, you don't want to have a 2-goal. It's the one thing I hate as a hockey guy. Everyone's like, the dangerous lead in all of sports is a 2-goal lead. Well, now we don't even have to talk about it. It's a 3-goal lead. And the only thing that will give me pause about this game, and it gave me a little bit of pause when I was doing research, the past couple of days, I've seen Greg Hussey play. I've seen him play, he's played in 7 games this year. He played both against Motor City. I've seen what this guy can do, and he can shut this team down. That's why it gives me a little bit of pause to really be like, oh my God, it's great that they're up, but I want to see now in the second period, build on the lead, get another goal, make Hussey not comfortable in net, and if we start seeing more crashing like we did in the first period, we'll get there.
Well, I feel like this is the next step in the maturation process of this new franchise. Ben, you alluded to it in the first period against Binghamton. Hey, you're in Binghamton, you take a 3-2 lead into the third period. Cutscene, you lose 6-3. You have an opportunity to put away a team that, like you said, is coming off a Commissioner Cup championship. They had to come here for 1 game. Watertown, New York is not a short drive away. You have a chance to put a team away, something we haven't seen from these Rockers necessarily a lot of. You put them away, hey, you're feeling good going into a 4-game stretch with Delaware.
Yeah, and it was something we talked about in the pregame. You have to walk away in these games. You have to get 3 points. And this is why I wanted this team to have a short-term memory from Saturday. You should have had 3 points against arguably the best team in the league in Danbury. You should have walked away with 3 points. You didn't. You only got 2 from the weekend. You should have had 4. And what they came out and see, I think to your point, we're starting to see that maturation. We know that they trust the systems. We know that they trust each other. They got great chemistry in that top line with Bartlett, Conway, and Koash. You're starting to get help from the secondary line as well. Everything is just right there for you. And that maturation is right there. Let's just start seeing more of it, and I hope that we'll see that here in the second period.
Real quick before puck drop, let's get Zach Solkanich in the building. Love to see him, but before we drop the puck real quick, let's get a shot update, and I know there's been some more scoring around the Fed.
Yeah, shot update is actually 15-11 in favor of Motor City before we enter the second period. Elmira all over Delaware after 1, 4-0. Elmira getting goals from Solis, Pekarski, Moscow, and Leeson all in the first period to have a 4-0 lead. And then Danbury has a 6-2 lead over Binghamton now in the third.
Again, reminder that Greg Hussey has now gone between the pipes, sponsored by Iconic Goaltending. Iconic Goaltending has clinics here in Metro Detroit for young goaltenders looking to improve their game. Information on private lessons, team skates, and performance analysis can be found at iconicgoaltending.com. 4-1 Motor City. Watertown with the first rush of the second period. Far corner pass from Tellstrom, can't make it through. Bartlett pinned to the boards, lost possession of the puck. Watertown keeps it in the zone, fires on net, loose, and it hit off the post. Ooh, that looked like it was earmarked for the back of the net. Again, we said it, the post can be a goalie's best friend.
It can. It's not a large piece of pipe, but if you can hear that doorbell ring, it's not a bad thing.
No, more pushing and shoving.
Yeah, Clouston getting into that one.
Clouston's been in his fair share of tussles this year alone.
Yep.
And again, you talked about in the first period, there is a little bit of history from the trip to Watertown. Again, different netminder. Babin got in a fight, had to come out of that game, but so far, it's just been a normal hockey game. Doesn't seem like any carryover from earlier in the year.
No, but these two teams definitely don't like each other. Motor City took exception that they wanted to have their banner ceremony against Motor City, so these teams do not like each other at all.
Middle of the ice. Naidman throws it on net, gloved by Scott. Another offensive zone draw, just 50 seconds here into the second stanza. 4-1 Motor City on top of Watertown. But Watertown kind of picking up where they left off in the first period.
Yeah, and the end of that first period, Watertown was pouring it on. Again, high tide raises all boats, and the Wolves, hunting like a pack. They're just doing a good job. They've improved their forecheck. They're really starting to take it, trying to tilt the ice back in their favor. But Motor City's got to get one back.
Puck in the neutral zone, slips into the Watertown zone just for a moment. Saris sends it up and out. Gingrich over the line, but he was not the first one over the line. Another whistle. Not getting a lot of flow early in this game. The first period was up and down action, didn't have a lot of whistles. Very stop-start beginning to the second period.
Yeah, I mean, take your pick. Maidmont was out there. DiCostanzo was out there first, so, starting a little bit, be disconjointed a little bit, but again, Motor City just find the feet, play a little bit better, and get that goal back.
Gaudette in close backhand, has to hold up for a minute, gives it back up top. Suffredini on net, waffle boarded wide. Far boards, Watertown getting it out of the dangerous zone. Suffredini slashing at the puck, sends it deep. I don't believe this will be icing. It will not.
No, but one thing I do like that Gaudette took the puck down low, fed it back. We heard Coach Swider talk about that in the intermission interview. He said we need to have our forwards, and that's the way the system is. Work the puck back down low, up high, and then come back for a rebound. Gaudette took that to heart, was able to get Suffredini. Suffredini's been hot the past couple of weekends and was able to fire it back on net as well.
18:16 to go, period number 2. 4-1 Motor City on top of a Watertown neutral zone draw coming up. Looks like Leonard, the man that scored the only goal for Watertown, will go up against Koash. Koash wearing the 8s, gets the win on the draw, back to his defenseman. Sends near side Colton. Colton scanning. Deep down, was going to horseshoe around, stopped by Hussey. Hussey, who entered at about the 13:30 mark of the first period. Been strong so far in his limited action. At the blue line, just swatted away by Colton. Watertown have to reset Leonard in his own zone, taking his time. Far wing. Controlled by Tellstrom. Tellstrom over the line, misses wide left. Puck loose out in front, and Leonard couldn't get to it.
Yeah, good play there by Rotundi to swipe at it, get it back into the corner. That's what we're talking about. You see the puck there, get it out to the boards.
Rotundi's pass misses the mark. Conway won't be able to get there, but icing waved off. They were saying that Lord had a chance to play it. Leonard over the blue line, 2-on-1 if he hurries to the right wing circle. He'll have to slow up. Good defense by Koash and Rotundi. Backhand feed blindly to the middle, no one home. Bartlett for Motor City. Wants to get to Conway, stretch pass, tape to tape, poked away. Conway was going to have to deke around two defenders, not able to do it that time.
No, but it was a smart play instead. What does he do? He buried it to the corner, allowed Motor City to get a line change, get fresh legs coming out to the concert floor.
Just over 3 minutes into the second period, 4-1 Motor City. We'll have a whistle on a frozen. Oh no, the net came off the moorings. It came off. That net's a little loose, isn't it? I feel like if one comes off, it's always that one.
It's always that net. No, you're right. It's that net. The moorings aren't deep. It's one of the things that, you maybe want to drill a little bit deeper, maybe put some water on it to freeze the ice around it as well. Anything you can do to help it, but it's definitely that net that has issues.
Clauston shuffles rink wide to Vanderveel. Fighting for it in the near hash marks. Back out Carter. Carter throws on net. Tipped high and wide off the glass. Far side. Back behind his own net, Clauston. Clauston races around. Trying to take it out of his own zone. He does, keeping the puck. Rink wide pass Ryder. Ryder, top of the left wing circle to the hash marks. Pass across, tipped high and wide. And Hussey getting a little physical with Lambden out in front.
Yeah, Lambden's not the biggest guy, but he will pester you in front of your blue paint.
Puck slides back to neutral ice. Clauston touches up at his own blue line. Pass turned over the blue line, and a shot into the net into the stomach of the netminder Scott by Maidman. We'll have a whistle. 16:07 to go in the second period. 4-1 Motor City.
Yeah, Cade Lambden, we talked about him. I mean, there's a couple of guys that aren't really tall on this team, and it's funny, Scott Koash is one of them. He's only 5'9", but Lambden's 5'6". He's one of those guys that you want in a fight because why? He's wiry, right? He's a guy who doesn't mind throwing his body around, will get his nose into it, and that's what he did to Hussey, and Hussey didn't like it.
And as we saw earlier, he can shoot with the best of them as well. He scored the opening goal for Motor City en route to their 4-1 lead. To neutral ice. Cardinal, rink wide pass, has to bank off the boards. Gaudette lets it go. Makima picks it up. Thought I may have heard a whistle for a moment. Play goes on.
No, that was just a young fan screaming.
Yeah, sounded very similar.
But we have the Genesis Credit Union Kids on.
Yes, we do.
We're having fun over there. They're playing mini sticks.
Yes, they
getting
are.
their face painted. That's where that's coming from.
Cardinal takes the puck over the blue line a little too early. I believe it was Gaudette who couldn't get onside in time. Yeah, a very stop-start beginning of the second period. Neither side getting a flow, getting the feel. That favors Motor City. When you have the 3-goal lead, you'll take this mucky kind of hockey.
Oh yeah, anytime you have a 3-goal, heck, even a 2-goal lead, you'll take that tug of war back and forth. As long as the puck doesn't go in the net, you're happy.
Tellstrom feed up for, that was Habcake. Back in their own zone, Lord takes it behind his own net. Feeds far wing, up to Leonard. Leonard right side, Tellstrom over the blue line, returns to Leonard, kicks to his own stick. Backhand knocked away by the skate of White into the corner. McGuire sends it behind the boards. White, quick backhand feed. Motor City looking for the breakout. Suffredini. Backhands. Koash. Hard pass to Bartlett. He'll send a rocket near side. White loses it in neutral ice. Bodie. Left side. On the circle now, right wing circle, shoots on net. Can't get by Koash. Puck loose. Oh, that was almost a really scary situation. You saw the skate come up near the face of, I believe that was Fody, yeah. That will. You just hold your breath when you see a skate flying through the air.
Oh yeah, it can cost you dental work and make you see a plastic surgeon.
And that's probably the least of your concerns when you get the skate up there.
I was gonna say those are best case scenarios.
Bartlett turns, fires towards the bench, keeping it in deep. Giuliano near corner. Feeds out, Ryder in close. Rebound, Giuliano shoots, and it's saved by Hussey. Giuliano hustling in front. Can't get the rebound. Goal score stays at 4-1. 13:55 to go in the second period. And we'll go to our media timeout. And as always, to get an update from the shots on goal and what's going on around the bed, Ben, let the fans know.
Yeah, shots on goal still pretty close to even. Motor City has a lead, 17 to 14, as we just pot down the PA announcer just a little bit. So 17-14 shots on goal lead for Motor City. Around the league, what else is going on? We're going to quickly check in. Elmira still has a 4-0 lead almost all the way through the second period. Nothing has really changed out in Elmira. And then, of course, see what's going on in Visions Veterans Memorial Arena in Binghamton, New York. They've played. It is now a 6-2 final. We have stars of the game. Dmitry Kuznetsov, we know that name.
Yep.
He had the game winner on Saturday. He was the first star of the game. Dustin Jasso, who's one of their best point getters, he was the second star of the game.
First road game for him.
Yeah, and then Jared Yao, the guy that we saw play a lot of good defensive shifts, was the third star of the game with 2 assists.
As Ben mentioned earlier, we have the Genesis Credit Union Rockers Kids Zone. You can bring your family, visit the Kids Zone. There's floor hockey, cornhole, face painting, and more. Rockers will be on the road this weekend before they return. Lambden, quick shot off the draw, misses high and wide. Before the Rockers will return home the following weekend, first weekend of December. Essentially a home-and-home series with the Delaware Thunder. Had to take care of business here against Watertown. 13:33 to go in the second period. 4-1 Motor City on top. Had a quick chance for an odd man rush. Won't come to fruition. Colton on the near boards. The far board sends it down. Giuliano behind the net. Has to chase after it in the corner. Slapped at Colton by the blue line. Across the Rotundi, hops over a stick. Rotundi dumps it in deep. Ryder backhands right to DiCostanzo. They'll work the breakout for Motor City, or excuse me, for Watertown. Motor City steps in front of it.
Yeah, Colton did a good job sticking his stick out at the timeline, preventing that breakout. Again, the defensive pairings that Corey Switer gets to work with. I joked when Ian White was signed. I'm like, how do you like your brand new toy? He's like, he's a very nice addition to what we already have. He's a guy that's going to elevate that room even further because he likes what he has with his defensive pairings. And can you blame him? I mean,
no,
the way they play, the way they bail, the way they cause traffic and havoc in the defensive zone, you got to like what they do.
Rotundi, one of those defensemen, sends up to Giuliano, far wall. Rink wide pass, misses the mark with Colton. Backhand and neutral ice, knocked down. Giuliano shovels in deep, Landon chase after. Hussey will play next to his own crease. Along the near boards, puck slides all the way down into the Rockers' end. No one touched it, icing. 12:44 to go. 4-1 Motor City. Rockers getting an offensive zone draw.
Yeah, now we're starting to see that ice start tilting back in the Rockers' favor. It was, a good 10-minute spurt for Watertown, but now Watertown starting to show maybe a little bit of tired legs, maybe having some tryptophan dreams as they're starting to slow down and get a little bit lazy.
Out the far side, Clouston banks it off the far boards. Out in front, Cardinal wanted the one-timer, pops up in the air. Watertown working the other way, man, over the blue line, using the speed in the short corner, fires off the shoulder of Scott.
Yeah, man, a guy from Berkeley, Michigan, coming home for this game.
Rockers with the puck in their own zone. Along the near boards, lost it for a minute. Rink wide pass off of Gingerich's stick, no one home. Diagonal dump in from Gaudette. Couple players chase after it.
I don't think you and Mann would get along though.
Why not?
He's a Laker and you're a Warrior.
Yes, that would be a tough relationship. In the neutral ice, Gaudette leaves left side. Bringing it up and shooting right into the stomach of Gregory Hussey. Elias Thompson. First time we've really said his name tonight. He's the extra forward right now, working in when he can. With the way the Rockers lines have been playing, you want to get the fresh legs on the ice, but you also don't want to fix what's not broken.
Yeah, and it's funny. One thing Elias Thompson can do if he wants to see more ice time, use his body, right? Be that guy who's going to play down low. You have a couple of guys in Makima and Gaudette that are taller guys that can do that. But Thompson, like we've mentioned it before, he's built like a tight end. He's built like a linebacker. The guys in the locker room like to call him Big Sexy because if you see him without his shirt, he looks like he could be a pro wrestler. If he's a guy that doesn't leak out to the boards and stays down low, he can be a real asset to this team.
Cade Lambden going to the box for the first time tonight for Motor City. He'll take 2 minutes for elbowing. That'll be the penalty kill, brought to you by Kustra Law. For all your legal needs around the Metro Detroit area, including helping get Cade Lambden out of the penalty box, visit KustraLaw.com. That's KUSTRA Law.com. 11:41 to go in the second period, and a chance for Watertown to really cut into this deficit, make it a 4-2 game. Carter broke his twig, racing for it, Koash, and he wisely slows up, doesn't want to give an odd man rush the other way. 1:40 to go in the man advantage for Watertown. They'll have to reset in their own end. Koash playing defense back for Habercake. Near side on the blue line. Both sides jockeying for position, slowly moving back towards the Watertown end. Carter had it for a moment. McKeem on the forecheck, can't get the poke. Carter over the blue line, in the middle, right wing. Leonard turns around, gets hit on the boards, and a quick fire down the ice. Wow, that took about 0.4 seconds to get to the other end of the ice.
Yeah, Koash doing a very good job, though, covering for his defense, winning a battle in the corner. He's going to earn his time off on the bench, getting that clear as well. Just an excellent series there for a power play pelt.
53 seconds and counting to go in the man advantage for Watertown. Turnover, left side, walking it up and behind the net, taking the time, Suffredini. Ryder throws on net, blocked to the far side. Gaudette taking his time, 4 different Wolves, and they send Gaudette into the boards. That will be a penalty, much to the chagrin of Jackson Bond. And the last 36 seconds of the man advantage for Watertown will now be 4-on-4, and it'll now be Motor City who has the opportunity to get an odd man opportunity for a goal.
Yeah, Brendan Young's the one that's going to go to the box, and it was a very hard hit, and it takes a lot to send a man like Roman Gaudette down. He's not small either. He's 6'3", 225, and he just went down like a sack of potatoes. So very hard hit, took him right in the hip area, and that's going to be a penalty every time.
10:18 to go in the second period. We'll have 4-on-4 hockey, a little wide open ice. Yellowney just loses the handle on the stick, fires it back in his own zone. Carter picks it up for Watertown. Carter along the far boards, feed to Yellowney over the blue line, throws on net. No, can't make it there. Good defense by Suffredini. Excuse me, that is 72. Anyway, in the far end, Watertown with the puck. 5 seconds left to go on the Lambden penalty. Be about 1:25 for Motor City. Now on the power play, brought to you by Digital Macomb Indoor Billboards.
No,
and a whistle. I believe we have a down player. Didn't see behind the play.
Yeah, the fans are kind of blocking our view, so we're going to look at the replay here.
Looks like
Koash took a hard shot along the boards. Yellowney was the one who hit him. That technically should have been another one. Right there. Just hits him from behind.
Bartlett spun at the absolute last second. And
you're right,
no penalty
Bartlett.
called.
Yeah.
So 1:20 left to go in the man advantage for Motor City. 9:38 left to go in the second period. After 5 goals in the opening frame, none so far halfway through the second. Motor City has a chance for their second power play goal. It'll be an offensive zone draw, however, for Watertown. Man, the centerman, going against Makima. Win for Watertown. Far side, dumped in deep. Chasing after it, man. Motor City trying to get the breakout, trying to get an opportunity to add another goal to this lead. Near side, Makima, cross ice pass broken up by Mann, still finds the target, Ryder. Ryder left wing circle, takes it in deep, knocked to the ice and into the net. Knocked the net off the moorings, and Hussey took exception. And Hussey attacking Ryder. Let's see if they'll send anyone off for this. Ryder was pushed into the net.
Yeah, Ryder was pushed in by Colton McGuire, and the fact that Hussey gets in about 4 or 5 shots I would send a man to the box for Hussey. That's just unnecessary roughness. And even
Now-
Koash is talking to him.
Now I know he kind of got upended, but Ryder's not a guy to just send it in. And you see a couple of players, Gaudette signaling 5-on-3.
Yeah, Gaudette, yeah. I mean, again, it was a clear accidental
Goes
mistake.
up on the scoreboard.
I mean, I know goaltenders don't like people near them. They hate people in their personal space. I get it. I get that entirely. But if it's an accident, the guy's at your feet and he's slow to get up and you don't like it, it doesn't give you the right to punch him 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, Watertown has 4 men on the ice. There's 2 penalties on the scoreboard, but 4 Wolves on the ice.
Yeah, they're going to send Yellow Knee off.
All right, I was going to say, if Yellow Knee stays out there, it'd be too many men, they'd stack. Right now, of a minute 5 of 5-on-3 hockey. Bartlett gets it off the clean draw to Colton. Colton, top of the left circle, in deep. Searching, back to Colton. Colton, far corner. Makima back to Colton. Taking his time, fires and it goes into the corner after the save by Hussey. Bartlett to Lambden. Lambden returns to Bartlett, top of the right wing circle to Colton. Slap shot on the one-timer. Bounces around. Lambden, backhand feed. Colton to Bartlett. Bartlett returns to Colton. Another slap shot, this time again. Swallowed up by Hussey. 37 seconds left to go in the 5-on-3. 1:32 left to go in the man advantage total. 8:54 left in the second period. Still 4-1 Motor City.
Yeah, I really like that this Motor City team is taking their shots. One thing that was really nice to see, though, Josh Colton not being afraid to pull the trigger and try to see if they can get another rebound goal here on Hussey. I like that they're just constantly peppering him with that puck.
Colton 2 goals all year. It'd be a great time for number 3. Has it in the middle, returns to Bartlett, slap shot, and it's almost kicked in. Gaudette tried to get a little cheeky and kick it in as we have a little more disagreements out in front. Gaudette just tried to deflect it any way he could after Bartlett didn't get quite all of it. 28 seconds left to go in the 5-on-3.
Wait, hang
Oh,
on.
they're going to send Lambden to the box. They are.
Well, this I don't know why. He was tussling, but he was also getting pulled by a Watertown player. So if anything, it should be offsetting, but
we'll see what the call is.
I mean, plus, the thing I don't understand, Cade Lambden was getting pulled all the way to the end line. He was in a bear hug. He wasn't even doing anything. I know that sounds
I would
homerish,
say
but
it just seemed a little. It seemed like a normal scrum. I didn't think there was. Thought it was much ado about nothing. But 4-on-3 hockey for another time, Ben. We've seen a lot of 4-on-3 the past week. Might see more 4-on-3 now than we do all year. Conway, left wing circle, shoots into the belly of Hussey. Easy save and freeze. 15 seconds left to go till we go to even strength hockey. And once the 110 is up on the Hussey penalty, it will be a 37-second man advantage for Watertown, if you can keep track of all that.
I'm doing my best. I don't understand slashing, though, on Lambden. I don't get that at all.
I'll be honest, I'll have to go back and look. He must have. A slash is not something you just throw in there or make up. I'm going to assume there was some sort of slash. 4-on-4 now for both sides for the next 53 seconds. White behind his own net, waiting for Young to make a move. Far side with the puck, Suffredini feeds up, and well, Conway absorbed the hit and gave a blow back to Baker. 8 minutes to go in the second period, 4-1 Motor City. Right side, Leonard has the only Watertown goal behind the net, Young. Battling forward in the Motor City zone along the half wall. Lord comes away with it from the circle, fires off the pad of Scott, heads to the corner. 19 seconds left to go in the remaining Watertown penalty before they get the man advantage.
Good block there by White.
Lord, far side, gets the puck back. He whiffs strike one, able to send the second one towards the net. As the Hussey penalty will expire. And coming on to the ice, Fody. And now Watertown on the man advantage. Motor City on the Kustralaw penalty kill for the next 23 seconds. Carter at the blue line, walks it up, searching, thought about leaving it for Lord, throws on net off the chest of Scott to the far wall. A dozen seconds left to go. We'll finally back to 5-on-5 hockey. Right side slap shot, almost covered up by Scott. He's able to get the rebound. 6:51 to go in the second. 5 seconds left to go on Lambden's second penalty of the period.
So I was thinking back to why maybe Lambden was in there for slashing. I do know right before that scrum happened, he did hit the pillows of Hussey, which I guess you can call slashing, but it looked like a normal scrum, but I think that's what they called him on it. I'm just going back in my memory. That's the only thing I could think that the refs justified the call with.
Makima with a big defensive zone draw. Clouston can't clear it. Back to 5-on-5 hockey. Clouston, long feed. Lambden couldn't quite get there. He would have been the only man in the same area code as Hussey. The chance for his second goal. Gingerich, far side. Being pressured by Makima. Squirts out. Back in their own zone. Vanderveil. Now Cardinal over the blue line. Poked away by Gingerich. Keeps it in the zone. Back behind Hussey. Chasing over for it, Saris. 6:11 to go. Ben finally back to some 5-on-5 hockey. Shot from the blue line from Clouston. Swallowed up. We'll have another offensive zone draw. 6:08 to go in the second period. Still 4-1.
Yeah, 2 power play pelts so far for Motor City. While they've been on the disadvantage, they've been able to get those kills and get those pelts. So not terrible. They do have one of the better penalty kill units in the league at roughly 87%. They did take a hit from this past weekend, but it's tough to score on these guys when you have the man advantage.
Vanderveil on net. Bartlett can't bury it. There was about 3 different white jerseys there helping Hussey out. Now Watertown on the attack. Right side poked away. Second chance. Carter knocks it down off the rebound. Bartlett behind his own net. Leaves it back. That was Ryder. Right side. Bartlett works around a defender. Backhanded pass. No one home. Looking for, I believe that was Cardinal. And he was just a bit too far up in front. Excuse me, Giuliano. And Jonathan Giuliano dumps it in deep as Clouston, the defenseman, comes up to play. Trying to keep the forecheck on strong. Loose in the crease. Clouston trying to find the puck. It was between his feet. Couldn't ever get it on the tape.
No, but Clouston doing a good job. Kind of playing out of position, right? Playing a little bit higher than he's supposed to. But did a good job acting as a forward there.
Feed intended for Thompson gets picked off. Sent back in for the Motor City end. 5 new bodies will come out for Watertown. Thompson loses the puck. Regains at the blue line. Has a 3-on-1, but it's poked away. The defense of Colton McGuire may have saved a goal.
Oh, good recovery there by E.T. Oh, the second E.T. There's another E.T. that's injured.
In their own zone, McGuire at his own blue line. 4:30 to go in the second period. Haven't had a goal here in the second frame. Still 4-1 Motor City. Puck loose on the far hash marks. Picked up by the Rockers. Thompson at center ice, sends it in deep. Hussey will play it, quick pass to man. It's tipped back out and Cardinal throws it on net. High stick the call. There's going to be too many men. The call on Motor City, and it looks as if Watertown will go back on the man advantage.
Yeah, Thompson was the one who was supposed to come off, I think. Let's take a look at the replay, though. I mean, I know, yeah, someone was supposed to come off and just couldn't. Thought the whistle was going to allow him to do it, but Elias Thompson will be the one that serves it.
Elias Thompson goes to the box for 2 minutes with 4:15 to go in the second period. Watertown trying to get this lead down to 2, but before we talk about that, Ben, shots on goal, and what's going on in the Elmira Delaware game?
Yeah, quickly, shots on goal favors Motor City 27-20. They're out shooting Watertown 12-9 in this game. And of course, really quickly, let's see what Elmira's doing. Ooh, they added one. They added a goal in the second period. They now lead 5-0 over Delaware. Elmira getting a goal in the second off the stick of Nick Guglio.
Elmira needs that win in the worst way. Of course, Delaware, the next opponent for the next 4 games for Motor City. We talked about this in the pregame, an opportunity to string a few wins together and maybe rise up the standings. Columbus is playing some really good hockey, so is Carolina.
Yeah, both those teams are playing really good hockey. It's one of those things where it really hurts what happened with last weekend, right? You know, Columbus pacing everyone in the Continental, having 9 wins, 1 loss, and then Carolina 8-2. So, you know, that's why it makes these games and the next subsequent games more and more important. If you can walk away with a win here, go to Delaware, get 2 wins there, and then come back for another 2 wins, that's, 16 points we're talking about?
Hey, you get 3. That's when it becomes a streak. Have to get 1 first, and it starts with getting this penalty kill, the Kustra Law penalty kill for all your legal needs around the Metro Detroit area, including getting out of the penalty box. Visit KustraLaw.com. Carter behind Scott. Holds the puck on the far hash mark, sends up top for Leonard. Leonard from the point returns to Carter. Carter at the blue line, slap shot gets deflected wide of the net. 2 different players from each team scrambling for the puck, far side, sent back up to Carter. Carter being pressured by Koash. Now to Leonard. And Koash gets the poke check. Might have an opportunity if he hurries. Hussey comes out of the net. Koash backhand wide of the net. Koash with just the defensive effort to give himself the offensive opportunity. Half of the power play over for Watertown. 3:13 to go in the second period. Still 4-1 Motor City. Rebcake bounces it wide of the net. Picked up by DiCostanzo. That is Maidment, 86 on the far side. Up top, Carter near side, and Tellstrom just a bit outside. Misses the net entirely, misses the glass entirely. Goes in the protective netting, 38 seconds left to go, and the too many men penalty. 2:35 to go in the second period. And Ben, we talked about the trip to Watertown. The 2 games were vastly different. First 2 periods have been vastly different.
They have been. I thought it was going to be a very close game, and what did I say? 3-1, a 3-1 win?
3-2, 2-1, I believe, was around there. And well, the second period's been much more like what you've expected.
Well, again, the guy in between the nets right now, Gregory Hussey, he's the one who terrifies me. He's my boogeyman.
He hasn't given up a goal. All 4 were scored against Travis Smith. 15 seconds left to go on the Watertown power play, and Suffredini sends it far and long down the ice. If Watertown hurries, they might get half a rush. 5 seconds left to go on the man advantage. Thompson comes out of the box, back to 5-on-5 hockey. Another penalty kill for Motor City.
Good thing we got Kustra Law on our side, getting us out of that jam up.
Shot blockered away to the near side. Maidment sends it behind the net. Young lost it. Long stretch pass, had Koash behind the defense just a step. Couldn't find the feed. Good job pinching by the Watertown defense.
Yeah, really good job by Watertown's defense. Trevor Lord offering some help there, but that's where you like to see Bartlett see the ice a little bit, maybe walk the puck up into the neutral zone.
Koash had a poke, now comes up, misses the second one. Lord walks it in, works around 1 defender, but too many black jerseys stonewall him. 90 seconds to go in the second period. Still 4-1 Motor City. Conway in his own zone. Long feed, finds the tape of Bartlett, 2-on-1. Bartlett tried to go 5-hole, and it closed up in a hurry.
Yeah,
Koash on the other side, didn't give him the feed.
Yeah, no, good blocker save there. Here's trouble.
Shot off the post from Tellstrom. Had an excellent chance. This turned into a track meet the last 30 seconds, trading opportunities. Vandervile sent it out of the zone. Watertown will have to touch up. Saris. Short pass to Leonard. 50 seconds to go in the period. Leonard, he had 4 different rockers around him and was trying to throw it on net. Instead, it gets tipped out of play. 46 seconds even to go in the second period. And, well, after 5 goals in the first, we're about to see a scoreless second.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, the last 2 minutes, it seems like both these teams wanted to get goals. They both had good opportunities. The post, again, being the friend of Scott. And Blake Scott, living dangerously, but he's able to do his job well so far.
Scott with the save. Big hit on the far boards. Lambden goes down to the ice. Watertown possessing it, half a minute to go. Maidment behind the net. Clauston cleans it up. Up for Giuliano. Gives back Ryder. Ryder using the speed, goes over the red line. Now the blue left wing circle, throws on net. Rebound, Maidment sends to the corner. Ryder just tries to chip it back near side. 15 seconds to work with. Shot on net real quick from Giuliano, knowing the period's expired, and he's trying to get pucks out in front. Another save by Hussey. 5 seconds to work with. Vanderveel will take it behind his own net. The period will expire, and we'll have a scoreless second frame. So, after 40 minutes of play, it's 4-1 Motor City. Ben, much different second period. What'd you see in that frame?
Well, saw a lot of good disciplined hockey. Again, it's something within the system, working the defenses, making sure you're forcing mistakes. And the funny thing is, we talked about bus legs being a thing. We talked about that with Danbury. I think we saw a little bit of bus legs in the first period for Watertown, and Motor City was able to take advantage of it, getting out to that 4-goal lead. But, as things starting to even out a little bit, maybe a more steady presence in net and Hussey, it's been a good battle. This is kind of what we saw in the very first game, October 21st, in that banner ceremony game for Watertown. It's just very good back and forth, playing within your systems, doing a good job, and just playing solid defense.
Well, not as many stats to give as we had in the first period, but our intermission stats are brought to you by Triumph Geared Solutions. Machinist jobs available right now here in Metro Detroit. Visit careers.triumphgroup.com to learn more. Again, that's careers.triumphgroup.com to learn more. Ben, I guess you can give us the shots and maybe a couple of the penalties we saw in the second period.
Yeah, well, let's start with the penalties first. Right now, 1 for 4 on the power play. Today is the Rockers. The Rockers also have 3 power play pelts, getting 3 kills. So that's been pretty big. Shots on goal also favoring Motor City now 31-23. Second period, though, it was 16-12 in favor of Motor City. And quickly checking in, maybe let's see if Elmira got another one. No, Delaware got one back in the second period, off the stick of Artur Alowin to make it 5-1 in favor of Elmira. So Delaware will not get shut out. They got a goal. So congratulations to the Thunder for doing that in the second period.
Both games in the Fed right now looking for comebacks in the third period. Hopefully Motor City can hold on and get a big quality win here on the eve of Thanksgiving. 4-1 Motor City leads after 40 minutes of play. We'll step away for a moment, but when we come back, we'll have the final stanza. You're watching Motor City Rockers hockey here on the Motor City Rockers YouTube page. Back here at Big Boy Arena, getting ready for the third and final period. Still 4-1 Motor City. Ben, what did the Rockers have to do to come away with 3 points?
Well, just do what you did in the second period, right? You shut down, you bailed at the right points, you were able to break up passes, get sticks in the passing lane, and keep the puck possession, right? Even though it wasn't totally in the offensive zone, when you were battling in the defensive zone, you were able to get possession of the puck, you were able to get clears, you were able to get possession of it quickly when you didn't have the puck. And also getting 3 power play pelts in the second period, that's big as well. So I'd like to see more. Just shut them down, right? Because they're the team that has to, get back into this one. You don't have to make mistakes. You can have clean puck possession like you had in the second period. You're going to come away with 3 points against a quality opponent. So that's what I'm looking for.
Talked about the maturation process. There have been games where Motor City's played a solid 2 periods. They couldn't finish the last 20. How important is this just to, get it, like you said, a quality win, hey, a multi-goal win where you didn't have to sweat it out compared to what they've usually done in their wins, coming down to the final whistle.
Yeah, you got to finish. We didn't see it on Saturday night. You were close to getting a good finish on Saturday night. Got to finish the right way, and that's why having a 3-goal lead or even a 2-goal lead is important, just in case puck luck happens or a mistake happens. You don't have to flurry in the final minute and a half to get a goal back, or you're not pressing into an overtime hoping you get a goal back, right? So it's just one of those things where you just finish, work within your systems, You know the systems are working very well. Again, don't be the team that makes a mistake. We saw that also on Friday night, the bad, tripping penalty Makima took, right? So that led to the, 4-on-3 in overtime, for the overtime winner from Ruiz. Just don't make a mistake. Just don't be that team. Force Watertown to make mistakes. Keep them on their heels. And again, finish a game. That's the last step in the maturation process of this Rockers team. Finish a game and finish it with a multi-goal lead.
Let's put the shoe on the other foot. If you were in the Wolves locker room this past intermission, what are you telling your team to try to come back from a 3-goal deficit in the third period?
Well, Justin Coachman, who was a player on this team until he was released, he was a player coach. He's been in these situations before. Coachman can easily say, hey guys, look, last 5 minutes of the first period, we got a goal back. We know we can score against this team if we start dictating the pressure, right? We saw it again, entering the second period. The Wolves were the ones on the hunt. They were the ones on the attack. Granted, they didn't get a goal out of it, but just say, guys, control the neutral zone. Break up their stretch passes. Get that turnover, flip the ice, and let's get a goal. They can do it. They did it in the first period. They can do it again, and that's what coach is going to tell them.
Final 20 minutes of play in regulation. Motor City won the draw, sent it in deep, but Watertown controls it on a fresh sheet of ice. Behind his own zone, Carter spins around. Forecheck by Bartlett, got a stick on it, but couldn't get it all the way away from Carter. Off the far boards, feed to Carter. Up the middle of the ice, now left side. Carter pings it back out in front, and it almost found the back of the net. Good poke check away from Scott, able to stand tall. Koash, the left wing circle, backhand off the shoulder of Hussey. He remains perfect since he entered the game in the first period.
Yeah, Hussey's been the difference maker, right? He's a guy who can steady the till. That's why, again, once he came in for Smith, I started to get a little nervous. He's a guy who doesn't give up a lot of goals.
Rockers control the puck in their own zone. Feed up to Giuliano, takes it over center ice. Poked away by Saris. And it'll be Gingerich that sends it up. Foti, right wing circle, poked away. Suffredini in his own zone. Backhand shovels across to Giuliano. Giuliano in the left wing circle, lost it for a moment off the crossbar. Just a quick wrist shot where he slapped at the puck, and it almost got by Scott.
Almost, and then Ryder doing the right thing to push the puck down the ice, but that is the third post the Wolves have hit. Again, if they hit all those shots, it's a 4-4 game. It's those narrow misses.
Ryder forces the turnover, neutral ice, left wing circle, gets by one defender, keeps the shot low off the pads of Hussey. Lambden back up top to White, return pass misses. Foti working the other way, long feed to DiCostanzo. DiCostanzo behind Blake, controls the puck. White pressuring along with Lambden, pops out to Ryder. Ryder in the corner, sends for Suffredini. Suffredini behind his own end line, feeds up to Lambden, sends it to neutral ice. McGuire tried to soccer it to Foti. McGuire picks it up himself, cross ice pass to Lord. He's trying to dump it in. Gaudette, the recipient of that feed. He'll flip it up and out to complete the line change for Motor City. 17:37 to go, third period, 4-1 Rockers. Haven't had a goal since the ending moments of the first period when it was Fabian Leonard that got Watertown on the board. Break up the four straight by Motor City. Neutral zone. Both sides jabbing at it. Goes back to Rotundi. Rink wide pass. It's poked away. Watertown with a lot of play in the neutral zone right now. Ben, neither side establishing play. Obviously with a 3-goal lead, that favors Motor City.
It does, but really quickly, I'll let you call this.
Man's shot in goes up into the netting. We'll get a whistle, and now a good time to talk about how neither side is really taking advantage or taking control, I should say, of this third period, first few minutes in.
No, but Watertown is getting an edge here, and why? It's because the forwards are cheating up. The forwards are, for Motor City, are playing aggressively around the blue line in the defensive zone, or in the offensive zone. They're not in a position to bail, and that's opened the ice up for the Wolves and get some offensive attack as they've gotten a couple of 3-on-2s.
Well, down three, have to take some chances as Habcrake misses wide left going into the boards. A couple of different players, one from each side. Baker shoots and it's waffle boarded to the far half wall. Carter Backhand pass to the blue line. Tellstrom lost it for a moment, battle for it. Koash swinging at it, still ends up on Tellstrom. Sick falls down. Right arm stay down from the official. Thought it might be a trip. Long feed, Ben, right where you were looking for. Koash didn't get it clean. Leaves it back for Colton. Returns to Koash, and it's just under his stick.
Man, it's those stretch passes. Starting to hit those. That's why Coach Brown uses 4 or 5 tires on his side. He wants to aim small and miss small on those.
Freezing the puck is Hussey. And Ben, let me ask you this. Obviously, Watertown wants to trade chances at this point. Down 3, you have to take some risk, and that includes, like you said, the forward shooting up. If you're Motor City, do you want to take your chance, go for the killer goal to put yourself up 4, or do you just play deep, let them try to attack, and wait for that one opportunity to go for the kill?
Well, you don't want to go into a prevent defense, right? You want to be able to dictate the pace of the game. How are you going to do that? Work your forecheck. Again, make Watertown make the mistake, so I keep the pedal down and tell the guys, hey, look, if the forecheck's there, bail at the right times. We can bail 3, but keep it ready and keep that pedal down.
Offsides called on Watertown. Let's see where they bring this draw back to.
Well, it should be.
And now we got
side dot.
Some more jawing, and they're going to send both to the box. Lambden going to the box for the 3rd time. Santino Foti heads to the box, and I kind of like that move from the official. Nipping it in the bud, not letting anything get out of control, because if you don't give those offsetting penalties, and in 5 minutes there's kind of a brawl or there's a skirmish, then you can look back and say, hey, that was kind of the catalyst.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where, again, while it will be 4-on-4 hockey, yeah, you're right. You want to nip it in the bud. We've been seeing a great hockey game, a good, clean hockey game. Nothing really, and these teams don't like each other, but the refs are doing a good job making sure that they can wrangle the bulls and keep them in their pens and whatnot. So, like the fact that both these guys are in the box, spending time, and we'll just have 4-on-4 hockey.
My apologies to Santino Foti. He's an innocent man. Is Ryan Saris that heads to the sin bin for Watertown. We have some 4-on-4 hockey, a little more open ice. Controlling the play. Vandervelde over the blue line, left side. Works around one defender, but it's poked away. Flipping this to neutral ice. Young chasing after it, can't bring it. Ryder. Backhand pushes it into the Watertown zone, but the Wolves take care of it. Just 30 seconds into this 4-on-4, 15:26 to go in the 3rd period. 4-1, Motor City on top. Awkward shot, hops well wide of the net, well out of Scott's reach. Behind the net, they'll take their time. Vandervelde, aggressive forecheck again, but that's Watertown having to force the issue a little bit, take some chances.
Yeah, Watertown, it's the same thing. Both these teams' forechecks are going to get into it because, one, you hope Watertown makes the mistake, and if you're Watertown, you need Motor City to make the mistake. And another way, though, that Watertown can get back into this game is blocking those stretch passes. They've done a good job putting their sticks at center ice, right at the timeline, and if they can do that, generate some more offense, they can get back into it. But the forechecking has been incredible.
Exactly 5 minutes into the 3rd period, our time for a media timeout. 4-1 Motor City. Ben, you want to update us on the shots and also what's happening in the Delaware-Elmira game?
Yeah, shots on goal. Hasn't had a lot of action so far here in the 3rd period. 2 shots to 1, for Motor City over Watertown, so 33-24. And really quickly checking on what's going on with Elmira. They have a 5-1 lead after 2.
Then a lot of night before Thanksgiving Day games around the Fed. Again, one Thanksgiving Day game tomorrow down in Mississippi when the Columbus River Dragons come to town. Columbus playing some really good hockey. They lead the Continental Division right now early in the season. Motor City chasing a bit.
Yeah, they're chasing because of what happened on Friday and Saturday. You get one of those 3 points instead of walking away the weekend with 2. It's a different story, but it shows how good the Continental Division is. A lot of people were wondering how the team or how the league would be adding 2 more teams in Mississippi and Motor City. The Continental Division has gotten really, really tough. 3 quality teams.
Carter over the blue line loses it for a moment. Leonard the only Watertown player to net one. Far corner, fighting for it. Rabcake gets it out to Carter at the blue line. 30 seconds left to go in the offsetting Miners. Suffredini sends to Bartlett in the far corner to the middle to Koash. Koash looking to get a 3-on-2. Near side, Suffredini over the blue line. Left hash marks, even with the goal line, and well, just sends it parallel to the net. Hussey easily plays it. 14:02 to go in the third period. 5 seconds away for us returning to 5-on-5 hockey. Carter skates it into the zone. He's double teamed. Puck goes deep. White plays. White chips to the far side. No white jerseys around. Has to be chased down by Mann. White long feed to Bartlett. Touch it. They're going to say he did not. Icing the call. And an offensive zone draw for Watertown.
Yeah, that pass was a little high. Ross Bartlett trying to sell it to the official said, no, you heard it. I tipped it. And they're like, no. That was near your chest. The stick was at your stomach. You didn't get it. It's going to be icing.
Real quick, tell you about Health Quest Physical Therapy is Southeast Michigan's premier providers of physical therapy. Get back to living life to the fullest and visit one of the Health Quest more than 35 convenient locations. See how Health Quest can help at hqpt.com. That's hqpt.com. 13:28 to go in the third period. 4-1. Motor City holding on to the lead. They scored all 4 goals in the first 15 minutes of the game. Haven't found the net yet. Good news is Watertown's only beaten Blake Scott once. Stretch pass to Gaudette, can't get through. Watertown looking to go on the offensive, but Makima forces the turnover. Gaudette can't clean it up from behind, and once again, Watertown in their own zone will reset.
Yeah, Motor City had to tag up and negated the forecheck as Watertown looking for an opportunity to get a breakout going here.
Pass up to Fody over the blue line, left side, throws on net. It was tipped by Colton, sticked away by Scott. Net came off the moorings for a second. Scott will adjust himself. And officials do a good job of knowing when to stop play, when to let it go on, especially when the goalie is the one who knocks it off the moorings.
Yep.
In close, Gaudette looking for the backhand. He goes down hard. No penalty call. Working the other way. McGuire through a couple of sticks. Finally, it's Koash that eventually takes it away. Koash stick handling in his own zone. Far boards. Gets pinned to those boards. The puck slides back to Lord. 12:15 to go in the third. Still the same 3-goal lead for Motor City.
Yeah, Koash took that mugging because he knew it would have been another too many men on the ice. So he's like, hey, just kind of closed his eyes and said, go ahead, hit me along the boards. And that was smart. Good veteran play there by Koash.
12:07 to go, third period. Neutral ice draw. Drop it on the Rockers logo. Elias Thompson do battle against Brennan Young. No, Thompson now goes to the wing. Looks like Koash will take the draw. Koash, very clean win back to Colton. Colton takes his time. Yellowknee forcing the issue. Flip it up to Conway. Conway chips in deep, will chase after. Gingerich bounces off. Going boards to Bond. Bond along the near boards, left the puck behind. Long pass gets taken away. Colton up to Koash. Puck in the Watertown zone. Motor City had to touch up. They would have been offsides. Long feed misses the stick of Brennan Young. Now Motor City playing defense in their own zone as we near the halfway point of the period. Motor City trying to keep this lead, get a nice win before they head on the road to Delaware. Conway over the blue line.
No, go ahead. You're good. There's action.
Yellowknee behind his own net. Taking it up and out of the zone along the near boards. Yellowknee lost it. Ryder gives to Colton. Lambden chops at it. Leonard picks it up at neutral ice.
You say Motor City really working that forecheck very, very well. Again, wanting Watertown to make the mistake.
Watertown, as time just melts away, is going to have to force the issue. Find a way. I mean, you can't get a three-goal goal. You're going to have to get them one at a time. And Motor City's defense doing a good job of shutting it down.
Yeah, Gordy Brown has said, once we have a couple of goal lead, force them to take it from you. and they're doing a good job with possession.
Tellstrom near side, and the post-to-post save by Scott. Great opportunity for Leonard, looking to net his second of the night, denied by Blake Scott.
Yeah, Scott with a nice pillow save there.
10-17 to go in the third, 4-1 Motor City. Long tape-to-tape pass to Leonard. Leonard tries to work around one defender. Vanderveel at least forces it to the corner. Vanderveel pokes it away. Giuliano picks it up in his own end. Can't slide it over the blue line. Oh, the puck was just hanging on that blue stripe.
Yeah, good job by Carter to keep it in. I thought it went over, but no.
Giuliano had an opportunity for 2-on-1. Good job keeping it in. Backhand attempt by Tellstrom is pushed to the corner. Clauston behind his own net. Trying to alleviate some of the pressure that Blake Scott has faced. Watertown really attacking. They know they need a goal. Gaudette behind his own net. Stops at the far hash marks. Fody tries to push him across the boards. He loses the size advantage in that one.
Yeah, you can see Watertown attacking with two forwards on the forecheck here. They're really, really desperately chasing the puck, but Motor City doing a good job forcing them to chase that puck as well.
Declan Conway on the ice. He's got 2 today. 1 on a breakout pass, 1 on a tip, looking for number 3. He flips it up for Koash. It lands right in front of him. Koash has it tipped away. Oh, that's a perfect feed up near the rafters. And a big hit fires up the crowd. Pass in front, tip, scores! Scott Koash! On the deflection in front goes 5-hole, and that might be the nail in the coffin.
Well, it was 4 goals a little too late, but Koash gets one. So maybe I'm a blind squirrel and I'm right once. But Koash gets a goal. I said he needed to get at least 1 tonight. He's gotten 1. Definitely not the difference maker. That's been Declan Conway. But Koash getting that point streak going as well.
With that goal, Ben, that's one that deflates Watertown. Hey, there is a lot of play in the Motor City end. Conway just flips one in on net. Who adds another point, by the way. 44 has had a heck of a night, and as he's gotten more comfortable in this system, 44 is becoming one of the go-to guys in black, but Koash gets what could be the knockout blow.
Definitely. 2 goals, 2 assists for Declan Conway. He's been special.
Left side, pass across. Thompson couldn't find Conway. Puck bounces out to White. White, low slap shot, doesn't make it through traffic. Man knocked it down. Bond, across, yellow knee, lets it slide into the corner. Suffredini went to just slash the puck, lost his stick. Watertown really needs to press if they want to pull off a comeback for the ages. Yellow knee, up to the blue line across. Slap shot from Saris, easily patted away by Scott. A little bit of a tougher save there, but consecutive saves for Blake Scott. He's done a nice job in net so far, only the 1 goal, and it was a heck of a shot by Fabian Leonard.
Yeah, Scott's been doing a good job in net, and now you kind of know why. Motor City has 3 goaltenders. All 3 goaltenders are quality. I know the fan favorite, people want to see Travis Ridgen come out, but it's hard to break that lineup when all 3 goaltenders are solid goaltenders.
Puck loose at the Rockers' blue line. Leonard pass across, still loose. Leonard and a diving save by Scott. He keeps it out of the net, and it's set out. Blake Scott with a highlight reel save keeps the score at 5-1.
Right on cue. You're right. Great Scott. Amazing save there by Blake Scott. And it got this crowd going.
The fans appreciate it, and he was sprawled out, extended as far as he could be. Blake Scott, not a tall fellow, but he is tall enough there to get in the way of the puck. Keeps the score 5-1, 7:44 to go in the third period. Takes us to our media timeout. Ben, stats are showing the Rockers in a good light. Let them know what the shots are on net.
Well, it's funny. They're not in a good light in the third period shots on goals. They trail 6-4, but they've accumulated enough shots on goal to make that not really be an issue. 35-29. They still have a 6 shot on goal lead, and still going on in Elmira. It's 6-1. So they were able to get one back as well, as Tate Leeson added a goal in the third period, 2 minutes into the third period, to make it 6-1 over Delaware.
And real quick, you want to give us the official score on that last Scott Koash goal? Who had the assist?
Yeah, Scott Koash got the goal. Declan Conway, of course, got the assist. And Roman Gaudette gets the hockey assist. Roman Gaudette's point streak now at 6 games.
7:44 to go in the third period. And Ben, I think it might be safe to say, if not the best, one of the best performances so far from Motor City for the whole game.
Yeah, they've played a complete game. They played a complete game here against Port Huron a few weekends ago. Port Huron, very familiar opponent. We know that rivalry very, very well thanks to the schedule. But again, quality opponent here. Totally a complete game. Don't want to speak too soon, but it's been a very complete effort.
On the blue line, icing, offside the call. Rabkick, a little perplexed. Be a neutral zone draw. Now, Ben, I think it's all right if you go into a little bit of a shell, play some prevent defense. You're up 4 goals. You'll trade a little bit of possession for time off the clock.
Oh yeah, you got that one back from Koch. So yeah, now you can easily, get the shell. You're only gonna, rush 3 and see what you can do. And there's a quick shot. But again, one thing that I'd like to see, Motor City is bailing very, very well with 3 players to prevent any type of a rush.
And a slap shot beats Blake Scott. Brandon Baker gets the goal back. Brings the deficit for Watertown to 3. Slap shot beats Scott, glove side.
Feel bad for the kids on the far side. Baker's just yelling at him and then just goes up to, those kids can't be any older than 10 years old? Why are you yelling at the kids? I know it's a big goal, but my goodness.
He's pumped up.
Yes, he is. And rightfully so. It was a heck of a shot. Let's not kid ourselves. That was a great shot by Brandon Baker.
Second time Scott's been beaten glove side tonight. Still overall a pretty solid performance. Now 5-2, Motor City on top. Maybe go on the offensive a little bit. Conway attacking. Hussey comes out of the net to play it. Koash in the right wing circle. Bottom of it gets poked behind the net. Watertown picks it up. Foti flips to center ice, and Bartlett grabs with the hand and sets it down across to Conway, and he slides it just to the left of Hussey.
Man, 4 inches to the right. We're throwing hats on the ice.
Weak shot in. Scott sticks it up into the netting. 6:34 to go in the third period. Watertown got one back on the goal from Brandon Baker. Still a 3-goal lead for Motor City. Then Motor City will head on the road this coming weekend after they have Thanksgiving dinner. They'll pack up and head out east to Delaware, and we were looking it up in the intermission. If you drive straight through in a car, it's about 9.5 hours, so you imagine on a bus with the stops, it'll be about a 12-hour trip in total.
Yeah, and
Giuliano having words, and Giuliano might be the last guy on the Rockers bench that'll have words and drop it. And McGuire now pushing around a couple different players. Lambden, again, getting his nose in there.
Yeah, but one thing I like, Giuliano is trying to bait, right? Trying to bait a penalty here. And
well, Giuliano got a stick across the back as he was skating away. He didn't like that. .6:25 to go in the third period. 5-2 Motor City on top. Everyone's staying on the ice after that little skirmish. Left side man tries to get a hold of it, cannot. Thompson takes it over the red line. Flips it in deep. Thompson chasing after it. Giuliano on the far side. Thompson can't send the frozen biscuit his way, and Watertown looked like they had it for a moment. Vandervile keeps it in, works around one defender. It's taken away. Man, feed misses the stick of Bond, but he'll beat the icing.
Well, the ref said it was tipped. I don't necessarily agree with that. That should have been icing.
Either way, Bond was the first one there.
That is true.
Giuliano in his own zone, returns behind the net, and Giuliano throws a hit. I don't think Jackson Bond was too fond of that. Ryder in the zone. Hussey sends it off to the far boards, didn't get all of it. Clouston chips it in deep, but he'll chip it too high into the stands. 5:31 to go, 5-2 Motor City leading Watertown, trying to close out the game, get a very nice win before a very short holiday break before they, as I mentioned, go on the road.
Yeah, again, we talked about it during the intermission. If you are able to get one back like Watertown did, you're not going to be panicking. You still have a multi-goal lead, and it doesn't allow you to really grip that steering wheel too tight. You can play within the system, still play your game and not force things. So Motor City's still looking comfortable.
Puck loose at the blue line. Motor City would be offsides. They have to touch up Watertown with the puck anyway. Leonard into the Rockers zone. He's pinned by a couple different black jerseys. Near side, Suffredini. In neutral ice, he'll take it across all three lines. And the near hash marks. Loose. Gaudette throwing his weight around. Chasing after it, Makima, far corner. Chips across Tellstrom. Tellstrom pressured. 4:47 to go in the third. 3-goal Motor City lead. It was Brandon Baker that got the Wolves' second one after a Coash tip-in that extended the Rockers' lead to 4. Fody into the zone. He's pitched quite nicely. They'll flip the puck up and out. 4:27 to go in the third. Time's melting away. Blown tires, they send left side to Maidment. In front, backhand still loose, and Suffredini makes quick work of it, sends it out of the zone, gives his defense time to recover.
Oh, there was an errant pass that bounced off Fody's leg, too. Lord has to go back to get it.
Time not the friend of Watertown. Deep dump, that one, ooh, I thought that one was tipped. Officials say it's not a break for the Rockers. We'll go to our last media timeout, 4:02 to go in the third period. 5-2 Motor City on top of Ben. Have to like what they've done here in the third. They get that extra goal, give it right back. But after that quick barrage, they kept Watertown at bay. Once you get up 4-0, you can just kind of play goal for goal and be all right.
Yeah, and one thing again, it was early in this period. It looked a little sloppy. It was, Motor City not bailing with 3 players. They were only bailing with 2. Now they're doing it more consistently, bailing with 3 to make sure if Watertown crosses the neutral zone, they're not going to get an advantage. It's either going to be at worst a 4-on-3, which you can cut down angles on, or it'll be a 3-on-3, which again, if you can all check a man on a 3-on-3, Watertown's not going to get a clean shot off. So, it's one thing, to work within the system. It's another to play and finish and perfect the system, and we've seen that between media timeouts, and hopefully we can see that in the last 4 minutes and walk away with a win. I will say this, it is kind of funny. Watertown is a quality opponent. They've won a Commissioner's Cup. They're a very good squad, but they have not been able to beat Motor City's backups. That shows the depth at goaltending this team has, with Scott and, of course, Ridgeton coming in on the road when Babin left when he went to fight. So they weren't able to beat 2 backup goaltenders. That says something.
Giuliano in the offensive zone, just trying to get pucks in deep. The old cliche to kill the rest of this 3:40 of the third period. Maidment had that looked like a tape-to-tape pass. He just lost it.
Yeah, but that was a good bail, though, by Lambden. Lambden bailed perfectly, was able to touch the puck, and now you see the Wolves have to go back and retreat to get a clean breakout. Very smart hockey. Lord
behind his own net. Take his time. Middle of the ice, long pass, doesn't find a home. Chasing after it and just kind of slashing at the puck. Bond. It was the right idea, just poor execution.
Well, trying to understand why they stopped the play here. I think maybe Watertown's calling a timeout. Now, the official override. The lines judge said it wasn't going to be icing. So don't know why we have a stoppage of play here.
Yeah, we'll see. Oh, no, we have a penalty.
Ah, there
Bond.
it is. Okay.
Too many men on the ice.
There it is.
That's the last thing you need. Down 3. So now Motor City on the power play, they win the draw. They can really cycle it through because Watertown's going to have to attack. And a clean win. And you see the defense come up. Makima almost had a chance from the slot. Makima. Back behind the net, Lambden. Lambden got the scoring started all the way back in the first period. Backhand across to Makima. And Makima in the corner. Just Fine with holding on to the puck. Let this clock run out. Colton throws on net, loose out in front, and Hussey doesn't know where it is, coming to clean it up. Oh, you thought Colton had an opportunity to bring it in, could not. Puck stays in the Watertown zone. Lambden pass across to Makima, doesn't quite make it to its intended target. Makima behind the net, you see the aggressiveness from Watertown. First 40 seconds of this penalty kill.
Yeah, but it was a beautiful play by Ross Bartlett to keep it in. Now, the Wolves will get a good clear, but previously Bartlett totally sacrificed himself to keep the puck in the offensive zone and kill more time.
Tellstrom looked like he was coming on an aggressive forward check, not to be. Pass across, that's a turnover. Then in the high circle, almost a bad turnovers, and Leonard almost netted his second one.
Yeah, that's the 4 posts tonight for the Wolves. That's got to be frustrating.
5-2, Motor City leads. It's a game of inches.
You can only ring the doorbell so many times before you can really get frustrated. Because again, you don't hit that post 4 times, you're up 6-5.
33 seconds left to go in the power play for Motor City. Again, all power plays this season are brought to you by Digital Macomb Indoor Billboards. 90 seconds left to go in the regulation. Motor City looking for a big win in 3 points. Turnover in the neutral zone. Carter works the other way. Top to the left circle, and it's shouldered away by Scott. 10 seconds in the man advantage for Motor City. Hussey looks very comfortable in that crease. 3-goal deficit. Don't know if they'll pull him.
No, I think they would have done it already.
5-on-5 hockey with 1:05 to go in the neutral ice, and Hussey showing no signs of leaving the net. Rabcake throws on net, still loose. Scott couldn't control the rebound, under a minute to go. Gaudette able to force the puck all the way back to the Watertown Wolves end. In the neutral zone, Ryder lost it for a moment, picks it back up, sends back to Vanderveel. He'll just take his time in his own zone. They'll just pass it back and forth. Let the last half minute of this game melt away.
What a game by Vanderveld, though. In his first game as a Rocker, he's played very, very well for a guy that was literally signed 2 days ago.
Feels like any time 19's been on the ice, we've mentioned him. 20 seconds to go. Vanderveel skates it over his own blue line. Red, other blue. Right wing circle. In deep, in close, and a save by Hussey. 10 seconds to go. Motor City will take this Thanksgiving Eve contest by a final score of 5-2. And it's what we asked for, Ben, in the pregame, a dominant win over a good team. Coach Gordy Brown's going to have to be happy with that effort and that result.
Yeah, tomorrow's supposed to be Thanksgiving, not Christmas. You ask for something, Santa delivers early. I mean, we know Santa's in town. He's going to be downtown, for the parade and everything. So maybe he heard you and said, you know what, Brady, you've been a good boy. I'm going to give you an early Christmas gift. But, yeah, no, this was everything we could ask for. A complete game, a good finish by Motor City, played a full 60-minute game, played exceptionally well, led start to finish, kept the foot on the gas pedal when they needed to, was able to get a goal back when they needed to as well. But that first period, that 4-goal lead, once you're able to do that and jump on your opponent, it's pretty smooth sailing from there.
Ben, for those fans that weren't with us all game, you want to recap how the scoring went in this one, then we'll wrap this up and we'll get everyone ready. Go home, get some rest, get ready for Thanksgiving tomorrow.
Yeah, it was really early in the first period, minute 13 into the first period to be exact. Dante Suffredini had a stretch pass to Declan Conway, who then offered a 2-on-1 to Cade Lambden, who went top shelf, and that's what got the goal scoring started. Then Declan Conway was on the score sheet early, and then he was on the score sheet often. Conway got the second goal. It was a beautiful drop pass from Koch. Conway at the far side circle, went top shelf 8 minutes later to get a 2-0 lead. And then on the power play, there was a nice blast by Ian White, and then Conway was the one who tipped that in. That was 3-0. Then Ross Bartlett was the one who was able to knock in a rebound on an even strength goal to make it 4-0. Fabian Leonard was able to get a goal 2 minutes left in the first period, and then nothing happened in the second. Third period, traded goals. Scott Koash got a goal to make it 5-1, and then Brandon Baker got that beautiful slap shot to make it 5-2, and that was your final.
The win for Motor City moves them to 7-3-3 on the year. Still chasing in the Continental Division, but as we mentioned, they'll go on the road to Delaware. 2 in Delaware this weekend, 2 in Motor City against the Thunder next weekend. An opportunity to take on a team that only has 1 win on the season and maybe rack up some points.
Yeah, and Delaware's not looking too good right now against Elmira. Elmira is able to get another third period goal, another one by Tate Leeson, his second of the period for a 7-1 lead. So Delaware's struggling, and when you see a wounded animal, you definitely take advantage of it and you corner it and then you put it out of its misery. I mean, that's what you got to do. And, you know, Delaware, it's an opportunity to get multiple points. You can get 6 points next weekend. You can come back, get 6 more points, and that'll put you still right back in the mix. Because, again, we mentioned this Continental Division has really 3 good teams at the top, and if you get to all 12, you're right there in the mix.
All right, Ben, we won't be on the call. We don't travel with the team to Delaware. So for the fans that might watch, what do you want to see in short from the Rockers on the ice when they take the trip out east?
Well, I want to see this team build off of this one, right? This was a very complete game. This was a very good opponent, and just build on it. You know, make sure that the offense plays within the systems, plays strong, and jump out to another early goal lead. You know, put a team away when you have an opportunity. That's what I'm going to be looking for when I watch the games on Friday and Saturday. And, of course, when we come back, that's what we're going to look for again. We're going to want to see a Rockers team that's able to end the first period with a goal or 2 and see, again, if they can put away a team.
All right, Motor City wins 5-2 on the back of a 4-goal first period. Again, on the road, but we'll be back home here Friday, December 2nd at 7:30 puck drop against the Delaware Thunder. He's been Ben Zalegi, I've been Brady Beaton, and thank you all for spending your Wednesday night with us. Rockers get a big home win. Hope you all have a safe and wonderful Thanksgiving. You've been watching Motor City Rocker Hockey on the Motor City Rocker YouTube page.